surprise team. Pete Carroll.
Look at my guy.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
The number 6 pick. And a 6.5 win total.
Bang that over.
Tiny.
At home against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The
Now let's do the exact schedule thing we've been
Titans,
doing.
The Browns
That's
and the Bears.
cupcakes.
On
Yeah.
the road, Texans, Colts, Eagles, Commanders.
Patriots.
Patriots are at
Listen,
8.5.
The-
I pencil that in as a win.
This isn't over. You got way better at coach. You got way better at quarterback. I think they're going to add Ashton Genty in the draft. Max Crosby's happy and paid. The schedule is a well-earned fourth-place schedule, and I think that right now, if I had to, and DraftKings allows this, I'm going to make this bet at some point. AFC West exacta, essentially. Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos. That's the finishing order, 1 through 4. Raiders come in second in the division.
Wow. I do not see that. I am not as high on the Raiders as Nick is, but I am an over on this. The last and only time Pete Carroll did not win more than 6 games was his first year as an NFL coach, 1994, with the Jets. And it's the Jets. So, like, I don't see them making the – I mean, I'll hold off on whether or not they'll make the playoffs. I don't see them having a great year like you think, but I think they'll win more than 6 games.
I'm surprised this is so low.
It's shockingly low.
Well, I mean, they were terrible last year and people don't believe in them, but I think that
they made so many changes.
Right. They're a whole new coach, new quarterback. You might as well be a new team.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is shockingly low. That's why when you see 6.5 and then you see their schedule, you're like, wait a second. How is this, like, there has to be a mistake here. I mean, there's some wins there. There's some wins there. The Jaguars, the Giants, the Titans, the Browns, the Colts. I mean, like the Patriots. Like there's no shortage of wins there. We know how well they play the Chiefs and whatnot. And I've already said this so many times, and I really try my best to try to repeat myself to a minimum, but it's unavoidable. But you know, again, like Nick just said, you upgrade of coaching on both sides of the ball. You know, Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, upgrade at quarterback, boom. That alone is guaranteed to give you at least 2 more wins. At least 2 more wins. I just don't see how it possibly can't. And then if you draft a player that has an immediate impact player, which I assume they will, whether it's Genty or a different direction, then like boom, you're golden. You're gonna win some games. You're gonna win some games here. So I'm definitely high on the Raiders. I want to see until after the draft and how this all unfolds before we start talking about kind of like playoff seeding and where things are going. But I think the Raiders could have potentially like a similar trajectory as the Broncos did last year, where they had a criminally low over under. They got a new quarterback. We're like, let's party, let's get after it. They were able to win, get into the playoffs, etc., completely transformed their team. And, you know, that's what I could see the Raiders easily doing. They have a criminally low over-under, have definitely a very favorable schedule that clearly the wins are there for you. The hardest part is their actual division. There's no easy, like most of these teams have like easy wins within their division. The Raiders definitely don't have that luxury, as I do think the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers will be tough games. But like I always say for some of these games, like I am just so excited for these divisional games. I feel like for the first time in a long time, divisional games are really back. You know, they tried so hard to make like the Cowboys, Giants something. And over the last couple of years, it's nothing. It's literally nothing. And before Jane Daniels, like the Eagles, Commanders, like why? Against who? You know, like Sam Howell and Riverboat Ron, like yippee, right? Like now there's like these divisional games like matter. you're not just relying on history here, and you're not just relying on fan bases and the fact that they are actually divisional games. Like, these games matter now. The Raiders playing the Chiefs have like true, stakes involved. It's not just trying to beat the Chiefs for the sake of trying to beat the Chiefs. It's like we are fighting for a playoff spot right now. Like, we got this. We can do this. Like, so I'm just, oh God, I'm so excited for it. But yeah, I see the Raiders taking a gigantic step forward. The only way that I think that they hit the under or just really don't reach what I believe they will be is if they just get decimated with injuries. They just have cluster injuries just all over the place, and it just becomes too much to overcome. But if they're actually full on healthy, they actually don't draft a quarterback with their first pick or something, so they draft a quarterback who's immediate impact. Let's go, let's get after it. Then I just seeing them only win like 6 games, 5 games. I can't see how that's possible. If it was just Pete Carroll and you didn't have Chip Kelly and you didn't have Geno Smith, then you're trying to figure out, is it Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, and like maybe we'll take a flyer on Mac Jones or something, then like I could understand it, right? I could be like, well, who's this OC right now? What's his background? Where's he coming from? And like, okay, you think you're gonna be able to win games with Mac Jones or something, or like, I could understand it. But you have a proven quarterback, you have a proven defensive coach, you have a proven offensive mind. Whatever you will say about Chip Kelly, he did have success in the NFL. He was not a complete failure. Was he a bad head coach? For sure, you can absolutely say that. He treated players in a very weird way. But in terms of his like X's and O's, and especially as now his offense and his mindset has evolved since what he used to do in the past, like, he's not a deer in headlights, and he's not brand new either. So he's not some like young up and coming offensive coordinator. Like, he's got a tremendous amount of experience now under his belt, so you can trust that at the minimum that this offense isn't going to be a disaster, that you're not going to be scratching your head every single week like, what the heck are you doing right now? I fail to see that being a possibility. And so when you put this all together, it's the package has to be greater than 6 wins, man. It just has to be greater than 6 wins. So again, especially when you're looking at the schedule, unless the Giants are just on a tear with Russell Wilson and new head coach in Jacksonville, man, Trevor Lawrence is finally becoming that generational player, and Dak Prescott, man, he is on a revenge tour. Let's go. And Cam Ward hits the ground running with the Titans, and he's just balling. And Joe Flacco's like, you all think I'm retired? No, I'm not. Let's get after it. And Caleb Williams is like, see, I just needed a new head coach. Let's go. Like, and Drake May's like, Mike Vrabel, here we are, baby. I'm the next Tom Brady. Like, I'm the captain now. Like, sure. If all of that happens and Shane Steichen gets Daniel Jones popping and rocking, like, sure, okay? But honestly, then I would love to see that too. Then I'll be honest. It's like if that's the way how the Raiders don't reach 6, at least 7 wins, then you know what? I'm sorry, Raiders fans. Like, well, then you know what? The NFL is just a wild place right now, and it's unfortunate timing. So, but as someone who just wants entertainment, I would actually be okay with that. But I'm not predicting that by any stretch of the imagination. But they do got some interesting games though too. Eagles, Commanders. Obviously the Chiefs, like, they got some interesting games. And then some of these other teetering games like the Cowboys, where you're like, are they good? How good would they be? Like, I'm curious to see, because going up against a team like the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Chiefs, like, even if you look like a little bit outclassed, outmanned, etc., like, that makes sense. That could make sense at moments. But if you're looking at some of these other teams that are not not coming off either dominant seasons or who have obviously have a great track record for being a top team, like, I'm curious to see how those games are actually won or lost. It's never just about the wins and the losses for me. It's always how you play. How do they play? That's how I always evaluate these teams. And so the actual unfolding of the games themselves, I'm really, really interested. But obviously we are months away from that. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Raiders? It's just weird to even say, their win total set at 6.5. Over, under, what do you got? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.